Well, hello there, Cancer. It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are going to be doing your mid-October reading. So this is good from now until mid-November. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so let's get into this, Cancer. Let's see what you have coming up for the next 4 or 5 weeks. Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. Really love that. You know, to me, there's a sense of strength. You have your own strength within you to move forward in whatever, area this is. We'll find out more about that in the tarot, but it's almost this energy of understanding that, the universe is, the wind beneath your wings kind of has your back in this. In other words, the direction that you are trying to take in a certain situation, okay, this is really the direction you're supposed to go in. So it's almost as if the universe is going to try to make this a little bit easier for you, because I feel like you're having to step into having some strength in order to do this. Yeah, I think you've been thinking about this for a long time. With the Observer, it's almost kind of like you've been looking at a situation in your life, but almost from the observer point of view. Stepping back from it so that you can perhaps, have a little bit better understanding of how this situation is really playing out in your life and how you feel about it. But now you're ready to take action. It's kind of like you've been in a period of just kind of waiting and seeing, perhaps waiting on somebody else to take action first. And now you're kind of like in this energy, especially after this full moon in Aries, you're kind of like, I'm not waiting anymore. I have to move forward in the direction that is best for me. So, depending, we'll look in the tarot, but it could be that you're kind of waiting for somebody else to reach out to you, or for somebody else to get their act together. They're saying that. So you could be like, okay, I'm not saying you've given this person an ultimatum. I'm not sure ultimatums ever work out for us, but it's kind of like, I'm not sure you've given this person an ultimatum, or you've actually set a date that, they have to call me and apologize by this time, or they have to, for some of you, it could be an addiction issue that this person has or something. But I feel as if you're stepping into that energy of, I'm tired of waiting. It's not like an ultimatum. It's just kind of like, yeah, your ascended masters are here. Yeah, you're going in a new direction. Loving man underneath, milestone. Yeah, I feel like, oh my gosh. And then the loving woman. What? Cancer. Yeah, I feel like you may be traveling a distance. There's something that you are, you have in mind. It's almost as if, look, we have the, here, let me see. We have the loving woman way over here and the loving man here. It's like there's distance between you. It's kind of like you've been waiting maybe for some time for this person to reach out to you, or, for circumstances to change in order for this relationship to come back together. Or if it's a new relationship, okay, I feel like, there's been some distance between you because you may have to let something go. The hope that somebody's going to come back, or the hope that a situation will change, is so that you can keep that in your life. It's almost this energy of, okay, this person is out there waiting for you. I feel like you kind of know this. You can meet this person, perhaps, if it's a new person, friends and colleagues, at some type of an event or get together, family celebration of some sort. You may even be feeling like, I don't know if I want to go or not. I would suggest you do. I would suggest you do. The energy here is really good. Yeah, a great achievement. After some time of feeling a little bit torn about the situation, very emotionally draining. This situation, you see how the water is pouring through the window there. It's almost as if this has been an emotionally draining type of energy in this connection. And it's kind of like, okay, it's time to take action. Either, I can't go back and forth. You had the back and forth in here, right? It's kind of like, I can't stay in this back and forth energy. I have to take some action. And with that full moon in Aries is all about taking action, right? Stepping into our power and taking action. And I feel like you're kind of like, okay, that's it. Either I'm ending this, right? Or we're going to work on this. And if I'm ending it, I'm moving on. It's almost like this clear-cut decision that you're making at this time. So let's go to the tarot and see what you have here. I really like this energy, Cancer, for you because, I do feel like you've had this situation kind of coming into your readings for some time. There's been this back and forth energy. And now it's kind of like Spirit has your back. Spirit says, Cancer, whatever you want in this situation, you can have. We are going to back you because I feel like you have really spent a lot of time trying to heal yourself, trying to move on, trying to do, your own inner work. And it's kind of like, okay, this other person either has to step up and be part of this connection, or it's time to just kind of walk away. Yeah, there could have been some betrayal, some secrets in this relationship. It's like trying to bring this all back into balance. You could have been holding back on your emotions in this situation. I feel like whatever you are doing, the other person is mirroring. It's really interesting because they're coming back to this, right? It's kind of like, mirroring. You're on opposite ends, but it's so symmetrical. Thank you. I had to go back to my geometry terms. So it's almost like so symmetrical. You've been mirroring each other. Even with this, it's almost like this line between the two. Okay, you've been mirroring each other. And once again, I feel like this energy has been in your readings for some time. It could be mother and child with, somebody kind of like keeping the connection separated. Or it could be two friends, two sisters, it doesn't have to be female, at all. But it's almost as if this third person has been playing a part in keeping you separated. Okay, so this could be a family member, a friend, it could be a third party. It's kind of like, okay, I'm tired of talking through this. You see how there's kind of like, this tea being poured here, and it's kind of like, okay, we're mirroring each other because they're looking at each other, right? They're mirroring each other, but it's kind of like there's still something that's separating us. And it's, this energy here, and you're just kind of like, yeah, I cannot continue on this path. Either this energy has to go, whatever that is. And, the third party could even be an addiction or some type of, they could be a workaholic. It could be anything. There's something that's draining, almost draining. It's interesting. They're showing me this is dripping, right? And then you had this, like this third person, whoever this is draining the emotional connection between the two of you. Really, and I feel like you're just kind of like, I can't be like this anymore. I can't live like this anymore, waiting for somebody else to figure out this situation or whatever. It's kind of like, I have to go after my 10 of Cups. And, after a very long time of the 5 of Cups, of being sorrowful about this, about looking at what you've lost instead of what you still have. But look you have so much cups here, so much love in your own energy at this time. It's kind of like getting really truthful about what it is that you want and then going after it. And maybe for some of you, it's, I want this person in my life. And if I want this person in my life, I need to stand up and tell them that. And if I don't want this person in my life, it's kind of like you have to have that conversation too. With the Page of Swords, it's speaking your truth. And I feel like this other person, for some of you, it could be this other person is reaching out to you. But because of this eagle spirit, and spirit has your back, I feel like it's a little bit of you stepping into your power, deciding what you want, and then taking action on that, and really and specifically saying to yourself, what is it that I want? You're taking your power back. If you're holding out for this other person to reach out, even if you're reading, watching this reading, you're like, yeah, I'm going to wait for them to reach out to me. You're allowing them to have the power in the control in this situation, right? So I feel like there is a big message here. Now is the time for you to step into your power. What is it you want out of this situation? And then to speak that. To verbalize that, not just to yourself, but to this other person. Because look, you're, ascended masters. Okay. So these are your spirit guides, your angels, your deceased loved ones are coming in at this time to say that it is time for this cup of love to be expressed. It's time for forgiveness, compassion, understanding to play out in this situation. Look, Two of Cups on the bottom. I honestly feel, even if this is a romantic partner and you're like, no, I can't go back to this person. It is about still stepping into that energy of saying, okay, I cannot reunite with this person, but really almost like we'll see how this goes. You may actually have to have that conversation, especially with yourself, right? About how you want to proceed. And then it's kind of like making a plan and sticking to it. So let's see. Yeah, stepping into your power. See, the Seven of Swords is coming back in again. It's time to, you're holding yourself back, Cancer, by not making a choice. The Seven of Swords is a little bit about holding back secrets, holding back your emotions in this situation. I'm not saying this person could have betrayed you. This person could have, caused you a lot of pain, because we have the Ten of Swords. But look at what's right underneath that. The Sun and the Three of Cups and the Fool card and the Page of Cups. My goodness. It's as if something had to come, this situation, whatever this is, had to happen, okay? Because something needed to end in this connection. So maybe there's codependency. Maybe there was addiction issues. Maybe there was this family drama, okay, with that Six of Cups energy. A person in your family that was kind of calling the shots in another connection that you had. Perhaps this is a romantic connection and this is a family member that was kind of calling the shots or something like that. There's this energy that situation has to end. It has to be seen clearly, right? It has to be your voice. You have to talk about it. Why did we get to this Ten of Swords? What happened? What was the issue at hand? I feel like you haven't even really talked about that with this person. What needed to come to an end, right, in this situation so that we can move forward, both of us. I feel like both of you can then move forward in this lovely energy. Whether you're moving forward together or moving forward separately, it doesn't matter. It's this situation, whatever this is, and this has been in your readings for some time. It's almost as if it's time to just flush this out of your energy, right? And that's what you're being asked. What is it that you want out of this situation? How do you really feel about this situation? When you get really truthful with yourself, when you go to your heart space, what is it that you want out of this situation, right? And then understanding, okay, I'm holding myself back if I don't step into the energy of really looking at this connection and what I want out of this connection and then making a choice and moving forward, right? Because what we have here is that it's kind of like you're defending whatever position you've had up to this point. You're defending it. You're saying this is your 9 of cups, whatever your position is. So say you're separated from this person. Your friends and family might be saying, oh, well, how's so-and-so? And you're kind of like, oh yeah, they're out of my life. I'm happy about that. It's almost this energy of trying to convince yourself, almost a little bit about being delusional, because you have the 7 of Swords coming up twice. So it's almost as if you may be a little bit delusional because Cancer, you're just trying to protect your own heart. You've been hurt in this situation. You have been hurt, right? So it's kind of like you're just defending your position, okay? I'm not talking to them because they hurt me, right? Understandably, right? But it's almost as if, okay, what do you want out of this situation? If you're not talking to them and you've walked away, why is their energy still taking up space, right? Why is it that they're taking up space in your head and in your heart? If you really and truly want to walk away from them, then you really and truly have to walk away from them. Just really and truly say, I'm not thinking about them anymore. I'm not giving them any more space, right? And so I feel like that's where you're at, is kind of like, okay, what is it that I really want? I'm not going to be delusional anymore. I'm going to step into the energy of knowing what I truly want. The Emperor knows what he wants. Interesting, because here we have Aries energy again, right? That full moon in Aries may have triggered some of these feelings of, my goodness, what do I want in this situation? It's almost as if you've allowed this situation to be put on the back burner. Maybe have gone on, you're living your life, everything seems okay. But then that full moon in Aries kind of kicked this back up. This has been coming up in your energy, right? So it's kind of like, okay, I've got to make a decision. The Emperor does not go back and forth. The Emperor makes a decision and then acts on it, right? Puts action. The Emperor is very much about putting action. And, I'll have to say once again, this eagle has that really strong energy of, I know what I want now, and I'm going after it. It may mean if there's some connection in your life that you are missing, a romantic connection perhaps, or a good friend or a family member, and then there's this third person or this third situation that is keeping you apart. It may be time to just step into the energy of saying, okay, I have to have a conversation with this person, that this is a connection that I want. And they then have the right to decide how they feel about that, right? They could be, okay, that's not good with me, I'm leaving my life. But you're taking your power back. You're saying, no, this connection is really important to me. Whatever this connection is, I do feel like it is super important to you, that you're kind of like, okay, this is something that I am willing to put something else on the line, okay, in order to go after this connection. So let's take a look at, family, friends, guides, and then the 3 of Pentacles, trying to get this to work out. So let's go ahead and clarify that, because, I feel like, your obstacle is really what you don't see. And because you'll be overcoming this in the next month. So it's kind of like what you don't see is that there is an opportunity to heal this situation. The Spirit is behind you. Remember, when we can heal a situation, there's not just healing for us and the other person, and perhaps the other people that are around this connection, but the healing ripples out to the whole collective. So Spirit always, has our back when we are working to try to do some healing. Now, if this is an extremely toxic relationship, abusive, okay, unless they have truly done the work and you can tell that there is, a significant change, because, I would say people can change. We have to keep that in mind. I know a lot of times we say people can't change. People can change. I mean, think about yourself, Cancer. I bet you're not the same person you were a year ago. If you're on this channel, if you're being drawn to this, you're not the same person you were a year ago. So it is possible for other people to change. But, if they haven't changed, then of course, this is not a connection you may want to reunite with. But the difference is you're saying to yourself, okay, that's it. I've waited long enough. Now I really have to go and live my life. Yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, the Devil is on the bottom. I am not surprised. Yeah, this has been you've been attached to holding on to this for a long time. There's still this Five of Swords, this mental anguish about this. It's almost as if you are having to come to a reckoning within yourself about what it is that you truly want out of this connection. Once again, I feel like you've been kind of going back and forth. What you don't recognize is that this connection is being divinely guided. There is this opportunity of bringing in love, standing in your power, of loving yourself, of making a choice of who is given, who you give your cup of love to. And, once again, it's not as if you have to give your love back to this connection, right? It's deciding, is this a connection that I want to put any more time and energy into, hoping that it changes? Or is there an opportunity that maybe it has changed? Is it time to find that out? Having a conversation to figure out, where are we in this connection at this time? So you may choose to have a conversation with this person, putting your own heart out there, and then seeing how they're reacting to that, what their thoughts are. And then deciding either to walk away or pour more time and effort into this. Once again, it just keeps coming back. It's a great opportunity, Cancer. If you've been waiting, and when I looked at my camera, it said 2222. So I feel like there is this energy of the cosmos, okay, the universe, your spirit guides, your angels are saying, this is a really good time. If you ever want to reconnect with this person, this is the time. And if you don't, then this is the time to say, I'm closing out this person. This situation no longer gets any more of my energy. I'm no longer defending my position, right? I am just living it. I'm going out. I'm seeking what it is that I want. Because here's your advice. You have new beginning and the King of Cups. Understanding that you're at a very good spot right now of being emotionally settled. And, coming into this realization of what it is that you really want. My heart chakra just really opened up there. You're really recognizing what it is that you want out of this connection, whether it is to reunite or to walk away. You're recognizing it. You're emotionally no longer in turmoil about this situation. You're either excited about perhaps working on it, or you're excited about walking away for good. It's almost this energy of, choosing and then stepping into this. I'm really kind of like excited. I feel like you get really excited. It's kind of like, yeah, I can tell this is a good time. It's a good time to step into what it is that you want out of this connection, and then taking the action. So let's see. Sometimes I think we have to realize that, when we separate from people that we truly love, whether it's romantic, family, or friend, that we do sometimes need that time to do our own healing, for them to do their own healing, to allow that to happen, and then to see, where where things are. It's like almost like checking in, with this connection. Wow. Yes. Wow. Six of Cups on the bottom. It is definitely somebody that is either family. Oh my gosh. I really feel for a lot of you, it is a family connection because we have the Four of Wands here. It could also be a twin flame connection. Both of those are here. It's the Temperance. It's bringing it back together. Well, how can we bring this back together? There's a sense of needing to compromise, of having discussions about how can we compromise. There is this strong energy that I have that this is really important on your spiritual path. The way that you are evolving spiritually has a lot to do with this connection. And it is, wow, I'm just telling you, I don't, my heart chakra is just like really opening up. There's just so much love in this connection. And Cancer, there could be that you just got sideways with each other. You may not even know why you got sideways. It's kind of like, this sense of, kind of like, what happened there? It's kind of like, it's almost like the universe is kind of giving you amnesia. Interesting. Because I think for some reason you were meant to separate for some time. And I know it's really interesting that they're kind of like, yeah, it could be a little bit like you have amnesia about exactly why. Maybe it's been so long since you've really talked to this person, or talk to this person about the situation, about your feelings about the situation. Because, after a long time of feeling disconnected and discontented with the energy in this situation, you kind of get clarity and passion for what it is that you do want. You're starting to see clearly with the King of Swords. This is what I want. It's that very strong energy, that Emperor energy of stepping into your power and saying, yeah, this is what I want. And now I am going to take action. I'm no longer going to think about it. I've been thinking about it for some time, but now I need to take action. And, having the strength, perhaps, to be the first one to put out the cup of love, and I'm not saying that you have to, I feel like it's almost as if all you have to do is say, can we talk? It's almost that. It's not like you, if this person hurt you significantly, and I get that energy here, it's not like you have to call and apologize to them. It's almost like Spirit is asking you, please just open the conversation. And once again, if it's a toxic, abusive, that is a different situation. This is for a situation where, you got kind of sideways with each other and you're not really sure. It's almost as if, look, this person is sitting there like, I'm not even sure what happened here, right? It's kind of like, there's something happened, right? But it's kind of like that it doesn't make sense that we're not talking because of this little, and once again, it's not that little, right? I'm not saying that, but it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened here, why we're really not talking. It just doesn't make sense. That's why I feel like you have the Seven of Wands. You're having to defend it. Why you're not talking, and yet at the same time, I think you can't even explain it to maybe your friends or family. But it's about understanding your worthiness. Part of your journey was stepping into your worthiness, and I feel like that for the other person, like you had to go your own separate ways to really step into your worthiness. I feel like it was probably a codependent type of relationship, right? So you both had to go your separate ways in order to build your own healthy boundaries. And now coming back together, you can, if both of you have built your healthy boundaries, right? You understand your worth, where, the borders are, and you can also be able to express that, to understand that this is coming back together. It does take a little bit of love, compassion, forgiveness, a little bit of give and take in this situation for this to come back together. But honestly, you know, you have the 10 of Cups here. It is this energy, 10 and 9, 9 and 10 of Cups, you know. There is this, that there is just so much love in this connection that it is worth, it is worth opening. It's just really just opening the conversation. That's really all Spirit is asking you to do. And it's kind of like, yes, you know, like knocking. I'm not saying you necessarily have to go to their house and knock on the door, but it is that energy of just knocking on the door. That's all you have to do, you know. For some of you, that just means, you know, sending them a text. How are you doing? Right? I'm thinking about you. How are you doing? Right? It's just kind of like, you know, maybe their birthday's coming up or something, and you text them happy birthday, you know, because there is something here that is really important for you to have in your life. All right, so we're going to go to your soul truth card. And Cancer, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd be so honored to do a reading for you. All right, so let's see what we have here. Am I on the right path? I feel like that is part of what you've been going back and forth about. Which path is right? The path with this person or the path without this person? Sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. Know this, you are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it isn't real. And you know, the message I'm getting there is that even though you may not see it at this time, there's so much love in this connection. This person loves you, even if you're not talking. This person loves you. And I feel like you have a lot of love and emotions for this person, right? And stepping into the energy of knowing that whatever decision you make is the decision that you have, you know, divinely been, you know, that you have a soul contract, right? This whole scenario here is part of your path. It is a soul contract. This is not just, you know, a neighbor down the street that you only see at the mailbox once a month, right? This is a really deep connection, perhaps a family connection. So this is on your path. The evolution here is available to you at this time, okay, to see how you can perhaps have some healing in this situation. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I do appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.